So this is on trail day number 175. It is Friday, October 22nd, 2021. I stayed last night at this shelter. Do not remember the name of it. It doesn't have it posted. I don't have my gut hooks. Anyway, we're about 19 miles from Hot Springs. I may push on to Hot Springs tonight. A shower would be wonderful. But if not, I'll get close within like 5 miles and then cruise in there tomorrow. I'm planning to zero tomorrow anyway, so. But it's only 5,000 foot elevation between here and Hot Springs, so. But it's 11 o'clock. I got up around 8, but I was here with the other hiker and had another hiker stop by, and you know how it goes. So yeah, just gonna hike today and see where we end up. Either at the hostel in town or close by. And see what there is to check out along the way. So I'm about a mile or so south of the shelter. And the terrain's been mostly downhill with one little short uphill. I think about 5 miles. It's going to be mostly downhill. And then there's a few uphill. So at the moment I'm feeling pretty good. No discomfort from the toes or anything. So but I'll probably reevaluate around 3. See about pushing on into town. It's a little overcast today. Nice and cool. Haven't broke a sweat yet. The hiking's warmed me up, but not hot. Oh, this is nice. If it was like this all the way to Hot Springs, I would definitely be going to town. The other hiker is hiking with me. He stopped for a minute back there, so I may not make as much video. It seems like when I'm hiking with somebody, I'm talking to them and don't think about making video. But I'll definitely get views or something like that. In the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy this nice terrain to hike on. Enjoy it while it lasts. So I've been descending. There's a highway about to cross, and then I get to start climbing. Now, there's been a couple of short climbs since I started, but they were over really quick. This is one of those ones you just kind of push up real fast, break a sweat, and then you're done. I think I'm about 5 miles in, just guessing. I was about 3 miles in when I stopped to check gut hooks and see if I had cell service. So, cruising along pretty good so far. It's 10 minutes to 1. So right now I'm still feeling like I could push on to town. But we'll see how it goes after the hill climb. There's a shelter probably 4 more miles south. So I'll evaluate the final destination from there. I'll definitely be going further than that shelter, but I'd like to get within 4 miles of town, if not into town. But at the moment I'm feeling pretty good. The toes and feet are happy. The legs are alright. The pack's light. I'm almost out of food. If I do camp tonight, I will be completely out of food in the morning. That's something that's rare. I usually always get to town and I got 2-3 days worth. So. Well, across the road, the climbing has begun. I just came up that, going up this. We got 3.8 miles to the next shelter, and like 2,500 foot of elevation gain. So I'm just kind of going slow, so I'm not exhausted when I get to the top, and then make up for it on the downside, hopefully. We've been 5 miles already in 2 hours. That's not bad. Oh, nice breeze. So I'm gonna get up this hill to the shelter and then evaluate from there. So we're on about the third switchback. You can see the trail just goes. It doesn't look that steep, just turn the switchback there. Reminds me of that old song. It's a long way to the top when you want to rock and roll. But I'm getting there one step at a time. And odd dead squirrel just laying in the trail. Maybe this hill was too much. It's a good one. I mean, I've climbed steeper, but I don't know about on this trip. I know, obviously up in New Hampshire and Maine, but it looks like it's leveling out a little bit. Oh, still going up. Sometimes I feel like one of them old log trucks you see in the mountains. Coming around the curve, black exhaust just bowling out the exhaust pipe. In first gear, super slow, about 50 Priuses behind it blowing the horn. Except for I don't have anybody behind me. We're not at the top, but we're getting much closer. All the visual indications are indicating it anyway. Maybe there's a view when we get there. Well, I'm not sure we're at the top, but it's leveling out. Oh, which is nice. That was not as bad as I thought. I didn't know if it'd have like rock stairs or log steps, but it was a climb nonetheless. One I never have to do again. Well, I didn't have to do it that time, but yeah, we're still climbing, but it's a lot less gradual, or a lot more gradual. Looks like we got a little bit more flat. I see daylight everywhere around, so we gotta be getting close to the top. That indication doesn't always work though. Sometimes they go around the ridge and then up the one behind it that you can't see. Looking at the ridges off in the distance, it could do that. Oh well, we'll deal with it, whatever. It's funny though, my pack, I have a mashed potato, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of butter, enough bacon bits for the mashed potatoes, and I think a Kind bar that another hiker gave me. So I'm practically out of food, but my pack feels like it weighs more than it does with a full resupply. It's funny how it works that way. Oh. And one thing about going slow, short steps up a hill, is when you get to the top, you're not exhausted, so you can pretty much pick the stride right back up. Pretty much. Well, if the hill climb's over, while not the only hill climb of the day, this should be the steepest and the worst. You get a little bit of a view here. Let's see, we're not quite, but we're in line with all the ridges. So we shouldn't have too much more climbing to do. Then we'll go down to the shelter. And that'll be the first break. I thought about taking a break at the road back there, but I decided while all the muscles were warm, the engine was up to temperature, so to speak, I'd just go ahead and climb the hill. Yep, about 200 miles in, something like that. And the old legs and everything's getting about back to where they need to be. So I'm on the last climb before the shelter. I just came from that direction. Going this way. This one is a little flatter. I don't know how much far up the mountain we gotta go. But then after this, it's all downhill to the shelter. And I'll probably freeze to death when I get there. Because I could wring my shorts and my shirt both out right now. And it's 59 degrees outside. Crazy. But get to the top. I'll be done climbing for a little bit. There's 2,500 foot elevation. 3 miles is pretty good bit. Considering it was only 5,019 miles if I went to Hot Springs. So I've done half the climbing and just the first bit. So I'm a little over half a mile from the shelter. I'm climbing up this. That's the way I came, and curves, drops. Had that downhill section, and then it started uphill again. I was like, wait a minute, I thought we just had 2 climbs. It snuck one in on us. Because it said it had a half a mile and 1,000 foot. I was like, man, that's a lot. So we're just poking up it. Shouldn't be much longer. I don't think we're going to go all the way up over that ridge. It's probably up and then over. But we'll see. You never know. So I stopped at the shelter for lunch. There was hikers there, so I didn't video it. I just came up all of that. Well, that's like a third of it. Now I'm climbing this. But not too much left. There's a campsite up here that the other hikers are going to. But I think I'm going to push on a little further. Try to get about 4 miles out of town. It's 5:30, so we shall see. I believe I've made it to the top. Once I turn around, it always just looks like a nothing. But all the visual indications. And I think I see a tent off down there. There's a camp up there. The section hikers from the shelter was going there. And then 2 through hikers come by. They were planning to go there, but I told them the section hikers were going there, so they may change their mind. I'm gonna crest this sucker and go down the other side a little while. Whew. No more long climbs today or tomorrow. So it got darkened enough I needed the headlamp. I've been hiking with the other hiker and chit-chatting, so, but not really anything to video. Anyways, I'm going to a place called the dammed pond. For tonight. And then that leaves about 4.5 miles into Hot Springs tomorrow. So, 15-mile day. Didn't leave camp till 11, so not too bad. It is 10 minutes after 7. And I think I'm done with the hill climb. I think. Just enough to get all sweaty again. I see spider eyes. Well, I guess this will be it for today. And then I'll see what there is to see in the morning. Get into Hot Springs. And then I'm on the fence where I want 0 or Nero. Get there early tomorrow. Hike out later Sunday afternoon. About 5 miles, and then that leaves me with just 25 miles to get to Standing Bear Farm. But I'll decide that when I get there. I think we follow the road. But that's it for today, and we'll start again in the morning.